Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Post Report, Stories from the Post Office Network. I'm NFSP Communications Manager Steve Bailey, and on this episode I'm joined by Trevor Magill, the Postmaster at Middletown Post Office in Northern Ireland. We're going to talk about the importance of the Post Office to the community and surrounding area, where Trevor gets his inspiration for the retail side of his business, how key PUDO has become, social media and much more. Thank you for joining us, Trevor. Can you start by telling me about the history of your post office?
Our post office actually came to the village in 1832, according to the records, and it's been now in our family for just over 50 years. My mum before me ran it, and I've been running it now for around about just over 20 years. So it's seen a lot of changes in those days.
Is it right that your mum ran the post office from a garden shed to start
Yes, the post office back in the 70s was destroyed. There had been an attack on the local BT exchange or post office exchange in those days, and the post office took the brunt of it, which was next door. So for a few years before its current location, the business was run in a garden shed, to keep the post office within the community, because it was vital to the community, and it was run from a garden shed until it was rebuilt again in the late 70s, early 80s. So yeah, that's exactly correct.
And how long have you worked in the post office?
I worked probably going to work with my mum, probably from, I think my first memory would probably be around the age of 6. I remember, and I used to do a bit of holiday relief for her. No one became, that sort of age. It always sort of trained me on the cash accounts and how to do the balancing and all that type of thing. So I worked for those days, and then when I was at university, I took on a few holiday reliefs, working around different post offices back then. So I've certainly been to lots of post offices down the years, and I worked for another 5 years as a manager in a branch, and I eventually then come back after working on a couple of other jobs. I eventually come back then to take over the business at home when my mum decided to retire. So yeah, it's been quite a journey.
And how has the post office changed over the years? And it must be like huge change that you've seen.
It's been massive change. From everything being manual, the huge big cash books and recording materials, everything was form based, everything was written before the days of Horizon. And indeed, I think even the amount of stuff we done for government work and all that has certainly declined off, down the years. I know certainly my business is very much a mails driven business now. I do remember as a child, my mum, there was like sirens and all on the wall behind the post office, and my mum told me not to hit the buttons. And what it actually was the late 70s, the time the post office and BT was the same company that installed early warning nuclear systems to warn the local communities of an imminent attack or whatever. And I was thinking that it just shows the importance that the post office had in the local communities in those days. The fact that the government would install that type of equipment within the post offices, and I think nowadays, the amount of work we're getting from government departments in no way reflects anything of the importance that the post office was back in the 70s and before to them.
Would you like to see more government services come back into post offices?
Yeah, I think there's still a lot of people out there who just don't do the online thing, and I think certainly there is those people who would like to access more government services within post office. So there certainly is that opportunity to build that into the local communities, and I hope government will start to look for how post office can help those communities and those people who are excluded from the digital age, really. And there certainly is a lot of them. I would have a lot of those type of customers coming through my door.
And you talk about local communities. Middletown's a village with just around 200 people. What do you do to ensure you always have a steady footfall?
Certainly our meals business is the biggest part of our business. For pickup, we do a lot of Amazon pickup, and we do a lot of click and collect, through Royal Mail Local Collect, and all that establishes a big footfall, more or less guaranteed every week. So we make sure that we're on everybody's device. Anyone inquiring about Amazon, we make sure that we add the pickup location on the phone, show them how to do it. Because once we have a digital imprint there on their phones, and when they go to do their Amazon orders, that then will come into us because it's free delivery and they don't have to be prime customers. So that has really driven footfall now, and we're seeing big volumes of Amazon coming into the branch. Also, we would do a lot with our Facebook. We don't overdo it. We put 2-3 items on per week, so we're not just doing it for the sake of doing it. And that's how we sort of try to keep the profile going as well. So it's all those things that sort of keep the regular customers coming in.
And PUDO is quite a big business. Like, you're one of the largest providers in.
Yeah, PUDO for Amazon, I think probably we are the busiest in the UK network for Amazon. Our volumes would be probably this time of year, so around about maybe 200, 220, and around November, December time, that'll steadily go up to about 500 per week. So yeah, that's big business. And then of course you've also the Royal Mail Click and Collect, which will every week will generate at least a couple of hundred of local collects per week, and then that'll rise then again coming up to Christmas. So it's a lot of volume of mail coming through the office for people to collect. So that's all footfall through our business.
Absolutely. And how important is the post office to not just the Middletown community but also the surrounding areas?
Yeah, I think our location really helps us because we sort of lie in on the Northern Ireland Republic of Ireland border. We are the nearest post office to a lot of people just across the border from us, so they will use it for all their posting into the UK. Also, we use it for collecting from the likes of Amazon and other retailers, online retailers in the UK, because since Brexit, a lot of those retailers won't now send stuff into the Republic of Ireland. So they can use those facilities then just to collect it from, which is essentially the nearest post office anyway. So that has been positive. What
do you feel the most rewarding part of your job is?
I think it's helping people to do the things that sort of enhances their everyday life and their shopping experiences, and it's all about being that sort of cog within the community that sort of drives everything else around. It helps the local businesses and helps everything flourish and keeps people coming to within that community, and a lot of the business then can feed in the back of that. So it's certainly rewarding in that respect. And the fact that you're helping those people, and you get to know them well and get to know them first name terms, I think it's definitely rewarding. They're not just a number; they're a customer, and they become a friend.
Is that part of the feel good community?
I think so. Yeah, there is a real good community spirit within the area, and everyone sort of keeps their eye out for everyone, and everyone help each other. And that flows through the community. So it's just really putting back into that community that is it's helping your business thrive, but you're also helping them and indeed their families and their businesses. In some cases, it helps them sustain as well.
You touched on Facebook earlier. How key is marketing the products you do and the services you provide on social media nowadays?
Yeah, well, we would have I think it's about 3,500 followers on Facebook, and it means then we can put stuff out there, new products for our shop, keeping people informed maybe of any service disruptions within the post office or the mail system. It's about keeping people informed, about when we're closed, bank holidays, that type of thing. So it's just about connecting with those customers and it makes them feel part of the business. That the fact that they can go into Facebook and see what you're doing, and it will, on the back of that, it will also gain you sales through your shop, and it makes people come in and have a look.
Have you noticed that when you put posts on Facebook that more people do come through the door?
Yeah, you get when you put up new pictures and new themes onto your Facebook. You will start to get a lot of messages about those products and that, and people just will come in and have a look because they know now you have new stock coming into your business, and it certainly puts that seed in people's mind, and then they want to come in and check out and see what you do have.
And walking around your store, there's a range of products you sell, from cards, candles, balloons, handbags, stationery, sunglasses, jewellery. Where do you get the inspiration for what you sell?
I would do a lot at shows the likes of Spring Fair and Autumn Fair, Harrogate show as well, from a Christmas stock. I would go over them, but I do find that a lot of the information of what products maybe to take into stock can come from talking to other retailers that are maybe in similar business, not necessarily a retailer on your doorstep, but you get to know connections with retailers in other areas, and you speak to them at the shows, you meet up with them in the evenings, have a chat, and they'll tell you what's working well for them and things maybe that hasn't worked so well for them, and you can make better decisions of what you're buying just by networking. Also, Robert Clack had been over, and we'd done a look at a retail, and we had took a couple of suggestions on board that Robert had made, so that has increased our turnover. I think it was around about 15%, so that was certainly well worth doing.
What were the changes that were implemented on the back of the visit?
What we done was the central aisles within the shop have become, a bit higgledy-piggledy, and maybe stands that were there. So what we done was we streamlined it, made it more straight lines, and you do notice that people are now walking the path really that maybe you want them to walk. And it just gives more space within the office, and we've done away with a lot of floor stands and just made fixtures more permanent, and it certainly looks better.
And what are your biggest sellers in your store?
Home fragrancing is probably our number one category. A lot of people come in and say we must be the best smelling post office in the UK, so that's some accolade maybe. Home fragrancing, we do homewares as well, and obviously the cards and the stationery is somewhat of a mainstay. That to me is a no-brainer within a post office to sell those two categories, and then anything else, the likes of the jewellery and everything else we do in the upstairs department, the home accessories. Those are higher value items, and they certainly really help contribute to increasing your turnover.
In terms of the post office, how important is the retail side from the shop as well?
The one feeds the other. The post office in a lot of cases is bringing in the footfall, the online shoppers, if you like, and those online shoppers are coming in to pick up that, they're actually then buying some from the physical store. And that's a nice sort of marriage together. You're combining the online with the physical, and I know a lot of retailers maybe run scared of the online thing, but for me, we've embraced that and ran with that, and we're seeing how we can use the online experience to actually drive and increase our physical product within the business, and that certainly works. And I suppose it's all about trying to find stuff to retail, physically, that people find it more difficult maybe to purchase online, the likes of the fragrance and all, because they like to, be able to smell it and whatever. So there is certain things that you can do that people will want that experience by buying in branch. Yeah.
And where do you get the ideas for what you sell in store?
Like I was saying there, we do a lot of shows and band shows. Mm-hmm. And we also, I would keep an eye out, even online, for different products, and sort of do a lot of sourcing that way. I get a lot of emails, from different companies' databases, that have maybe taking that from attendance at those shows, and maybe a rep will call and we'll sort of try and maybe run with some of those products if I think it fits within what we're doing.
Looking ahead to the future of the post office network, what do you hope the vision is now?
Yeah, I think it'll certainly be a mails driven business. Going forward, I think the whole PUDO thing. I think we have to really keep embracing that and using that to drive footfall through our businesses, and then using that to increase our retail. On the PUDO thing, certainly I would like to see Post Office maybe help us more with, as you start to get volume, you need that sort of better equipment, if you like, to be able to store these things and, have systems within your office to cope with that. So I think we could be doing with more help from Post Office, to be able to better service customers through PUDO.
And more government services as well would be...
Certainly, and probably not just government services. I think we need to see a lot more of new clients maybe coming on board, maybe more couriers maybe potentially coming on board. We've had the issue here in Northern Ireland of some couriers not operating GB. They don't operate in Northern Ireland, so that has been a bit of a bugbear, with a lot of postmasters here.
That shows, the likes of DPD and Every and all those, for pickups from post offices. But in reality, that hasn't been the case over here. DPD has never rolled out over here, and also Every's been very, very slow of moving out into the more rural areas. So I think the nearest post office here is probably about nearly a 50-mile round trip to be able to drop off your parcel. But customers are coming in saying that, but it says online you can drop it off at a post office, when in reality that's not the case, because the Every network hasn't fully built yet, to service the whole of the area. So that is certainly a problem.
Thank you for your time, Trevor.
You're welcome. Thank you.
More episodes of the Post Report Stories from the Post Office Network are listed on the NFSP YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe so you're the first to know when new podcasts are uploaded.